So Captain out straight away. So could we be seeing a fast Stuart? Well, not a fast Stuart, but a Stuart regardless from Giap. He's obviously gone for a pack howitzer, so we know he's got the captain and such. But what I meant was, you know, he's not gone for an M20 basically, which is interesting. We do have a pip of veterancy on these riflemen, so the 222 would be in danger of an anti-tank grenade if they got too close. MG42 showing its worth there. The second MG42 is watching over both avenues of entry, not this one, but these two. Captain under heavy duress, and Sturm Tiger Giap has been pushed off the map. Are we seeing 2 Wehrmacht victories? Surely not. Obviously not yet. We've got Telemine in the centre from ASSBAG, so that is the most common spot for a mine in the history of Company of Heroes. Because this was the first map ever built, and that is the most trafficked area on the first map ever built, so that is the most mined area ever. So if you don't sweep that area, you're a dumbass. Rifles ready. Who won last game? Ah, he's joking. Oh! Teller goes off. It was hit by seemingly the scout car, killing models on troops, which is probably not what you want. I wonder if he targeted his own Teller there. That would have been fantastic. Pack howitzer now coming into action. The 222. No, the MG42 gets the kill on the rifle. First major squad wipe there. And Giap is really under the cosh as USF. Probably lamenting his lack of an M20 at this point, but he has got the pack howitzer, but that's now under fire from the 222, and it's got no answer to it. Where's the captain in this? The captain's now having to redirect to the west as fast as he humanly can. All the while, ASSBAG is now taking back the western cut-off, and he's going to be able to push on the western side of the map, especially because the rear echelons are retreating. 222, I don't know what the pack howitzer's playing at. It was fannying around, getting shot at. In the east, you've now got the rifles taking advantage of that third entrance I was talking about earlier. They're now going to go around the east there. Bazooka shots miss. S-mine in the centre though, so he's protected the MG's cut-off with an S-mine. Great play from ASSBAG. Hopefully that Giap can see the skull and crossbones there.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
What a fantastic series this is. This is absolutely awesome. In the west, we've got Ostrup under fire from the captain. There is a little bit of barbed wire protecting that yellow cover there. Bad nade off, doesn't get anything there. 222's all, well, it's only got 2 kills, but what it's been doing in general has been fantastic in this game. Putting excellent damage down on the rifles early, allowing the MG42 to get the kill. Sniper coming out for ASSBAG. We were wondering when we'd first see a Wehrmacht sniper. I thought we'd see one in the first game, but we didn't. Probably because it was against Soviets. Pack howitzer gets a great shot off against the scout car. I'd argue that he'd have to get out of there. Indeed he does. Indeed he does. Rifles opening up against the Ostrupen. So we had to see rear echelons try and get rid of the Stuarts on the field. What the hell's happening? What the hell happened there? We got a drop. No, not on such a great game. This game does not deserve a drop. What the hell? How did that happen? Fuck my life! I've got no discourse from the players either. Both says they're in Company Heroes 2 at the moment. Let's get out of this. Let's restart. I'm at 11 minutes. I can get back into that really quickly. Let's just quickly double check my stream to see what time I was on. Damn. And by the way, Bullock pointed out that we did see a rifle go down to an S-mine there. I must have missed that. How can this happen? Why me? Quickly, quickly, come on, Company Heroes! Faster! The fuck is happening? Piece of shit, fucking shit program game. Fuck. Alright. Make sure I've got nothing I don't need open. to close down Silo. Doubt Silo would cause such a thing, but you never know. The fuck? Play. Relic! Actually, this gives me time to collect my thoughts, but I really can't be affording to miss such a fantastic quality game. Why did Relic do this to me? Why? Why did you do this, Relic? So if you're watching this now, what I'm going to do, if the game's still in progress and Relic booted me out of the game, which I didn't know was possible, to be honest. The fuck? What? Oh my god. I'm not nervous, I'm just upset that it's casting an awesome game and then it gets pulled out from under me. I don't know what's happening there. Live games. There's no live games. What the fuck is happening? So Relic server's just having a complete, like, spasm. Right, there we go. Custom games. Friends games. Please. Arnhem checkpoint. The fuck? Alright, we're just gonna have to go with game 3. I can't believe that just happened. Right, I'll cast that one from replay later or something, or I'll put it on Kotu.org, make sure somebody else casts it. That is so annoying. If the game gets, like, finished and you're watching... No, that doesn't happen, does it? I have no idea what's happening. I'm sorry, I'm a good tournament organiser, I'm a fairly decent caster, but when something like that happens, there's not much I can do. It's just random. I don't even know what the score is. Fuck. I don't want to message the players whilst they're playing. It's not my... That's not my...
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
That's all I can say. It's 1 versus ASSBAG game 3. If we see a game 4, we'll know what's going to happen, won't we? Anyway, let's pretend that that never happened. Let me try and get back into this. It is 1-1. Who says this? How do we know that?
We have more conscripts at our disposal. We have been spotted.
Seems like Giap may have early GG'd or something, which is really odd. I mean, ASSBAG was obviously doing really well and had flanked. Okay, we'll treat it like ASSBAG's won that one then. We've got OK. I'm going to cast properly in a second. Hang on. Wrong one. Sorry. Casting. Go to. Maybe it just was an early GG. Maybe that's what happened. Okay, that must have been what happened. God, that was bad. Anyway.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Okay, and welcome to FlexiTime Championships quarter-final. Straight away, ASSBAG's pushing really hard against the OKW player, Giap. The Kubal's going to have to redirect, so we've got OKW in the north versus Soviets in the south. So very interesting matchup. It's not often we get so much Soviets in a tournament series. It really seems that ASSBAG favours the Soviets over the Americans. Of course, he didn't quite get the victory in his first game on Angervilla's Soviets against his American opponent then. But it seems like his USF play on Angerville pushed Giap into an early GG. So much so, it sent me as a caster into a nervous frenzy of not knowing what happened, because obviously the chat of the players does not come up yet in live obs, which is really frustrating because it kind of shows you you don't know what's going on, because usually it's GG called that tells you what's going on. We've got the truck trying to push the conscripts away, the Kubel all the while putting suppressive fire down, and of course with the Stern Pioneers, the glass cannon Uber DBS dealers coming in. They're going to really push themselves away. In terms of doctrines available, we've got conscript support tactics, counter-attack, and mechanised support. We saw counter-attack in the first game with the KV-1. For OKW, there's not that many doctrines to talk about really, but Luftwaffe is probably the most popular, along with Scavenger. So he does have Luftwaffe available to him. So Arnhem Checkpoint, people say that this is an Allied favoured map. I actually quite like Arnhem Checkpoint. I think with something like Elite Rifles, or Rifle Company rather, it can be, quite Allied favoured in that circumstance, but, that's Rifle Company for you. Neither player seems to have that doctrine, thankfully. Kubel coming in here, going to put some suppressive fire on the conscripts, which are getting sandwiched between Volksgrenadiers. They're going to die! Oh, not that great play from ASSBAG if he loses them, because it's directional covering Company heroes. In the backs, the conscripts are facing a Kubel and a full health Volksgrenadier. In the west, we've got Stern Pioneers and an engagement in green cover engagement. That's what I like to call a very poised engagement indeed, because not much is happening right now. No, the Stern Pioneers indeed are going to try and go for the kill. They're darting in and out of cover, trying to get closer so their DPS works for them. Kubel redirecting to the west. But yeah, that was a really early GG from Giap. It really threw us off in that first game, threw us off the scent. Battle Group Headquarters really close to base for Giap. He's not taking any chances against his opponent. He obviously being 1-1 in a best-of-5 series. He, it's going to be very interesting to see how both players start to play now. And indeed, you're starting to see a little bit of reserved play from Giap. Interestingly, he's gone for OKW. Obviously, went as Wehrmacht in the first game with a high degree of success. MG34 heavy machine guns now available. Indeed, we see the first one of the doctrine coming in. I did call that. It is most commonly that you see Luftwaffe, especially on a map such as this one, because a cheeky Fallschirmjäger behind enemy lines can be the difference between a wipe or no wipe. Very advanced Stern Pioneer play there. They are going to come up against a combat engineer with the flamethrower. Conscripts capping up the east. We've got OKW with a high degree of map control on Arnhem. It's usual that you'll see the Allied player just go straight for the cut-offs on this map against OKW, but it seems that Giap is more than holding his own. It was his expert Kubel play that I believe kept him in the game. Obviously with that conscript wipe as well, he's got a material advantage for now. Incendiary grenade goes in. Quite a bit of munition spent there. In the east we now see that in fact it's going to get flanked. We don't see Molotovs though, so it's not in any imminent danger if it packs up and gets out of there. He's probably going to retreat it, hard retreat it though, because there's no way he knows that at this point. Stern Pioneers possibly going down. They're going to have to retreat through a hail of fire. Don't quite get the kill off though. That would have been a big pickup for ASSBAG if he'd managed it. So we didn't see the MG34 take a full retreat off the map. However, Volksgrenadiers have now taken advantage of the lack of capping power from ASSBAG and taken his cut-off away from him. Combat engineers proving their worth, trying to set the church on fire. It seems that ASSBAG is an atheist. He is a Russian player, so communists at this point, of course, had a big policy of atheism. They actually bring back the Russian Orthodox Church for World War II alone, though, just to try and pick people's morale up. It's like, hey, you can have religion again. Here you go, and now kill yourselves in war. Oh god, the Volksgrenadier is possibly going down again. These combat engineers have been absolute swag, ruffle stomping, lol. I can't believe I just said that. It was pathetic. I don't know what I wanted to say, but anyway, we've got Fallschirmjägers now taking 2 kills off them, seemingly. God, the conscripts got a headshot off on the Fallschirmjägers. That's a lot of manpower extinguished there. Now, in terms of the map, it seems that most of the south is in the Soviets' possession, but obviously he did have his cut-off taken away from him for some portion of the map. I have yet to see Giap's cut-off taken. However, again, this is pretty much a reversal of the first game. ASSBAG has had a lot of victory point control. It must be said that Giap has kept himself fresh for this G3, didn't keep fighting what could have been a lost cause after he had a large degree of material taken away from him. Especially when that rifle retreated through the S-mine that Bullock thankfully saw whilst watching. Again, we've got another Volksgrenadier pushing down to the east here. You've got Fallschirmjägers putting these conscripts under heavy fire, all nicely lined up in a line trying to fire through a block of concrete there, it seems. Volksgrenadiers taking advantage of directional cover. They're going to put some shots in on the side. All the while, we've got these conscripts under fire from the Stern Pioneers. Fallschirmjägers, no kills as of yet. They are putting a lot of DPS down though, that's shown by their 2/3 of the first pip of veterancy achieved. Conscripts again getting a shot off on the Fallschirmjägers. They're finally going to have to retreat. They were in battle for a long time, it must be said. There is no advantage to hitting hit the dirt behind green cover, because hit the dirt is omnidirectional green cover wherever you want it. That is the advantage of it. Now that let's give us time to talk about the conscript support tactics. It does have rapid conscription, it does have some other elements to it that make for interesting watching, because it's not shock rifle frontline tactics basically, because you always see that and we're not seeing it here. So it's very interesting to see in a highly competitive quarter-final game in a long-standing tournament. The great thing about this tournament, if I'm to toot my own horn, is the players have now been playing for, I think, either 4 or 5 weeks, which is a long time to be playing a tournament. So they've got a large degree of themselves invested in this game. You have got scrubs like Momo for show that say things like, I don't want to play, so I give you the bye. You've got scrubs like that, but you've got absolute gladiators like this that have come to this point in the game and are absolutely just smashing against each other in a titanic contest, and it just makes for excellent watching. And people say this game's a broken game, it's not fun to watch, it's not fun to play. That's not what I'm seeing in this series. I'm seeing a game that's maturing. I'm seeing nobody's playing elite rifle company. I'm seeing that, you know, Axis are doing really well. You've got 2 very highly ranked players, 2 very good tournament level players, and they're using pretty much everything at their disposal to try and get the win. And it's fantastic watching. So that's just a little meta rant from me, but I'll get back to casting the game now. Stern Pioneers putting decent DPS down on the conscripts. They're going to have to get out of that building very shortly. In the west, you've got Fallschirmjägers, still with no kills Fallschirmjägers, possibly going to rectify that now against conscripts retreating on red cover. T-70 makes its entrance. 2 kills almost immediately, pushing away a Volksgrenadier there. Volksgrenadier retreats with 2 men remaining. Kugel's been utterly, obviously impotent past about the 8-minute mark, it seems. It's not done much at all. Do have a Rakettenwerfer as a backup plan, and it shows its worth. Getting a shot on the T-70. The T-70 is now going to go for the kite. It does indeed get 1 model. We got the Panzerschreck in covering fire, though. Oh, great last shot off on the Raketen. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens between this Volksgrenadier and the Flamer engineer there. He's got very closely, he's got the MG34 if it worst comes to worst. However, he's pushing him away. Is he going to go for a sneaky steal of the Raketen there? In the west, we've got an engagement between the Fallschirmjägers and a house. He's not going to go for it. He's lost 1 man. 1 man was enough to prevent that. And we've got a shoe mine there. Let's keep an eye on that for later. Oh, he's going to get the steal with the conscripts, though. There's not much that they can do about it. We have got the retreat past the shoe mine. Very good. Schwerpanzer headquarters setting up. It's been targeted by the T-70. We've got other fire from the Maxim as well opening up on it. Schwer's already down to 30% health. This could be a killing blow from ASSBAG on Giap. This is a lot of... He does indeed just cancel it. But he's lost. That is a major loss for Giap. He's going to have to wait for the next truck to come out. He spots the Kubel that's been just keeping the cut off. PPSH is not often you see that in play. It is a good map for them. We've also got rapid conscription in play. Could be seeing some extra conscripts coming onto the field very shortly. We've got GG called in the chat. Very presumptuous, I must say. So let me say who said GG. We've got Massacre Muska, Swag Squadron, Woofia, and Tume94 is calling Team ASSBAG. So, and we've also got Kubalakar calling GG. Now let me just bring these guys up onto the chat, because if this isn't GG, I think these guys get to eat some pie later, some humble pie of the sour grapes variety, if Giap, proves his long-standing tournament pedigree and gives the upset. T70 pushing in, 6 kills. It's been a pretty damn. It's already got just nearly veteran C2 already. That's what killing a Schwerpanzer headquarters does for you. So the stolen Raketen is chilling in the rear. We've got a new Raketen built, so we've had a stolen Raketen and a Schwerpanzer headquarters. This is allowing the PPSHs to push up. You've got to expect that this Soviet player does indeed take this game, but you never know. Anything can happen in Company of Heroes at times. Retreated conscripts there. It's very interesting to see just how many extra conscripts rapid conscripts managed to get. T70 again proving its worth. In fact, it's showing a picture to Giap now. He did an early GG on Angerville, and he's having the game taken to him furiously. However, Schumann could get him back into the game, especially if we get a Faust from the Fallschirmjägers. They'll have to get out of the building for that. It's quite a dangerous tactic. They are going for the rear armor Faust. Oh, they get wiped! But the Panzerschreck gets the kill, so he had to get the rear. Sorry, my voice. He had to get the rear armor shot with the Panzerfaust. He got wiped, and the Shrek got the kill. Sorry, I went into dolphin mode there. Ah, my larynx. Dear God. Let me cast in my deep voice for the rest of this game. Finally, we get the Schwerpanzer quarters with the blood camo coming onto the field. Maxim getting flanked, incendiary grenade possibly coming in. He got the T70, but man, he paid for it with that Fallschirm. This combat engineer has been an absolute tour de force in this game, it must be said. Sorry, just bringing up my chat so I can read it in my second window. Vet 3 on the conscript, the combat engineer now. It's going to push away the Volksgrenadiers there. All the while, I've got the MG34. It is out of the cone of fire. Flames, more bad luck for Sturm Tiger Giap.
Enemy flanking us.
Is that the original Kubelwagen still? I can't believe the T-70 never got the kill on that thing. So he's got the Raketen sulking in the background because there's not much he can do at this point, and there's nothing to fire against. It's mostly an infantry cavalcade of infantry. We've got 5 conscript squads. We've got these new guys on the field, 0 kills. They are the product of munitions spent on rapid conscription. So he's converting munitions. There we go. The Kubel's been found out. Gonna have to retreat. A little bit capping with the Raketen because it's nothing it can do. It must be said, Giap's still got his fuel. The Kubel just about kept that for him. I wonder what the Soviet player's going to take. He's got rapid conscription engaged again. He's just hoping for his manpower cavalcade to snowball and just, hopefully push Giap entirely off the map and get the win that way, it seems. 2 mortars again. We saw this in the first game. The first one set up by the house there. Vet 3 combat engineer MVP player on 10 kills, putting more pressure down on the MG34. That indeed is going to have to go straight back off the map. Didn't last a second. Fallschirmjägers getting pressurised. This is indeed the second Fallschirmjäger squad that's been built. The first one bit the dust against the T-70 in very unfortunate circumstances. Kubel still rocking on the cut-off point. And we've got engagements on all fronts. I don't know how I can cast this. I wish I had my bloody strategic zoom cast enabled. Can only do that for replays, unfortunately, because it does require dev mode. Yeah, zooming out to capture more of them. I really hope Relic implements it. That is my long-term goal for those YouTube casts, is to prove to Relic that we need it in game. Stern Pioneers coming in against the conscripts. Get a shot in through the windows of the church. Do get a model kill. Jagdpanzer coming out for Sturm Tiger Giap. It is 17 minutes into the game. However, it is a mid to late game unit, it must be said. So it is going to offer him a large degree of protection. Very good point from Yabusum. We will be using tap map when the engagements get a little bit more spread out in future. Great point. See, Fallschirmjäger's got pushed away there. The Jagdpanzer's making its presence there, and it possibly would be getting to keep it in the rear of the engagement. Oh, dear God! Great shot in there. Mortars really proving their worth. Incendiary grenade does get dodged by ASSBAG. ASSBAG has been absolutely dominating this game. He's really warmed up now. I claimed he had fatigue in that first game, but this player, although he might be getting wipes as I'm trying to big him up. Come on, ASSBAG, I'm trying to say what a good player you are. Conscripts have now found the Jagdpanzer force, so he's aware that there is an anti-vehicle presence, but it doesn't look like he needs it. Look at that on the left of your screen. It's such a high degree of infantry capabilities. He's got a new, fresh combat engineer that's come onto the field thanks to the 120 munitions that's continually spent.
Support gun, ready for action.
The Liege ISG on the field now. Obviously, against so many conscripts, that is a force to be contended with. Look, it seems to me... Live your life like a candle in the wind. Seems to me that he's building T-34-76s. How interesting. I love this game. I love this matchup. This is one of the best matchups I've seen all year. It's just been so varied and so interesting to watch. Shame about the early GG in Game 2, which confused the hell out of me because I thought Relic had, like, banned my account or something. Fallschirmjäger's finally up to a pip of veterancy there. That is indeed the second Fallschirmjäger squad. All the while we've got conscripts trying to take the fuel. Again, Giap is able to keep his fuel, which has been really impressive in this game, considering just how little he has. We've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 conscripts! No, 1, 2, 3, 4... Can I count? 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. 8! Sorry, I had a mind spasm there and counted 2 extra conscripts. I think that's possibly due to my occupation as an accountant. When it's the weekend, I refuse to count properly. ISG opening up on the stolen Raketen. He's really angry he lost that thing. And there's just so much presence on the field from ASSBAG. It's amazing to me that for one, the Kubel's still alive, and for two, that Giap is able to keep so much of the game. Let's stay in tap map for a bit so we can try and collect ourselves. Here we go, the T-34-76 is now making its presence known. It is going up against this Shrek. He's scared of the Raketenwerfer, if he's aware that it does indeed exist. Possibly just a little bit of foresight there, just guessing, you know, that there's a deterrent or a possible problem he didn't want to push in. He just wants to very calmly and methodically keep his advantage in this game. An engagement in the west here. Seems that PPSHs are pushing away the Volksgrenadiers. Talking about PPSHs, it must be said that ASSBAG has not chosen to upgrade all of its squads, and that is not the Mosin Nagant rifle does deal much better damage than the PPSHs from medium to medium long range. Obviously they're worthless long range, but that medium to medium long range kind of area, they're pretty damn good. So T-34 has done nothing but drive around the map. It seems that Boris, the driver's a little bit drunk and is just going for a tour. Not done much quite yet. ISG showing its worth. 2 ISGs on the field. This new one is going to, you know, possibly show that the October patch hasn't deterred OKW players from using ISGs to get them back into the game. 2 ISGs open up. This conscript doesn't give a crap. It's obviously got its swag on. It's just sitting there in its green cover kind of mode. I think that's what we were saying. I'm not sure. What is the identifier for the hit the dirt? I think what happened then is the icon for rapid conscription was hiding it, if that makes any sense. Oh my Jesus Christ, was that what we just saw? Did that just happen? I've gone high pitched again, but I believe we just saw a combination of an ISG and a Shrek get a wipe on the squad. But oh my god, the mortar gets a wipe in turn on the Volks Grenadiers. It's an absolute killing match out there. People are dropping like flies, there's bodies everywhere, fatalities are climbing, the obituary is in the newspaper. Oh god, what's happening with my camera work? My camera work's going insane. Have I got it back under control? There we go. All the while in the west we've got a steady engagement with the Maxim coming into fire. But I can't believe those wipes. Just to confirm, we've got 2 wipes there. Conscript got wiped by a mixture of an ISG and a Shrek shot. And then the mortar came in and wiped the Volksgrenadier itself. The Shrek wasn't dropped, and now he's down to 1 Volksgrenadier in its entirety. Fallschirmjäger's just narrowly escaped this house. In the west, we've got the T-34-76, still on 0 kills. What a great unit. No, sorry, there's 2 of them now. Sorry, my bad. Both on 0 kills, though. Jagdpanzer IV hasn't actually met any T-34-76s quite yet. Kubelwagen still alive. How is this possible? And just look at Sturmtiger Giap's army. He's got such a pittance compared to what ASSBAG has. It's amazing to me that he's managed to stay in this game. And I think what has resulted in him having to do this is the fact that he early GG'd, well not early, but early to mid-game GG'd in the first game. About 10 minutes in, wasn't it, or something? So... oh, nice shot in from the ISG. So he's now going to have to try and get some kind of victory point control wrestle from ASSBAG. Obviously he's not completely out of this game, but with so many conscripts being on the field... is it 9 now? It's 9 conscripts now. We're getting close to the 10 when I originally counted it, and I counted it as 10. Maybe that prediction is becoming a reality. Yes! A T-34 has a kill! 2 kills! They were against the ISGs. Doesn't quite get any significant damage done. They're just going to get back to the battle group headquarters and get some repairs. To answer Commando in the chat, he's saying it's funny you see high-level players using something that was patched. It was not patched out of existence of the ISG and the pack out, so they're still very useful, especially when you've got the sentience to actually direct them. Obviously, they're not very good. They're still pretty damn good. They get pins after a couple of shots. And there you go. GG has been called. Thank you to Relic for not having the chat in the game. You did do a lot of work on the UI in 2014, so that was good of you. But you don't know it's GG until the tanks and stuff stop moving. But anyway, it was a fantastic game, and let's see. He got him down to 395 victory points, but in general, that was a fantastic strategy from ASSBAG, and what a tactician this guy's proving to be. Yeah, it was GG. How odd. But yeah, the reason that's anticlimactic and I don't go GG is because in Company Heroes 1 and before the UI and everything got messed around for Company Heroes 2, you could see the chat. So when the player called GG, which is obviously RTS conventions, you knew. In this game, it's just like, oh, everything stopped moving. My game's oh no, it's GG. And in the first game, it was 10 minutes in, and I really didn't think Giap had to GG at that point. So I assumed that Quinn Duffy personally had banned my account to spite me. And anyway, the score now, let's update the brackets. The score now is 2-0 to Mr. Bag of Ass against the tournament heavyweight Giap. So ASSBAG is proving himself to be... And to be honest, let's update the brackets in real time. That'll be fun. 2-1. It's the first of 3, so we could possibly seeing... If ASSBAG wins this game, obviously, we'll be seeing Giap make an exit from tournament 1 versus 1 play, because he told me that his time of committing himself fully to tournaments may be coming to an end. Yes! Straight away. These players don't have any rest for the wicked. And because... No, I can't afford to do that. Should I make a quick coffee? I'm kind of running on adrenaline here. I'm going to try and make a quick coffee. Somebody create a straw poll and say who you want to win the series, please. ASSBAG versus Giap. Quick straw poll, please. Thank you. Right, without further ado, let's get it on! We're in the 4th game of a titanic conquest between Sturm Tiger Giap, a tournament level player, if there ever was one, versus ASSBAG, who's been dominating on Automatch Ladder recently. He's also been exciting us in this series with his innovative strats, his very interesting doctrine choices. It has in fact inspired Giap to himself go Soviet, so that's the 3rd time we've seen Soviets so far. We've seen USF only once, and they got pretty much smashed by Wehrmacht. Very interesting tournament game. In my personal opinion, this is proving to me that this is not a dead game, as some players and streamers will have you know. You're just burnt out. This game's pretty damn good. Get back into it. Get back on it. Let's have some awesome series. Let's make this happen. It takes a long time for metas and strategies to settle in RTSs. Once you see, oh, Rifle Company OP, there's no way of countering it, oh, the maps are all Allied favoured. That's bullshit. This is a damn good game. It's had some damn good balanced devs in the past with Peter and, you know, Breaking Brad's not doing a bad job at all. It's a damn good game with a pretty much awesome community, the second most frequented RTS community on the internet overall, after StarCraft, of course. That is, of course, RTS as in not MOBA. We're not counting MOBAs because that would make us feel wholly inadequate. But this is a damn good game, and these players are proving it in this current state. So get out there, start ranking on ladder, and if players of a high caliber stop playing, replace them. Now, we've got ASSBAG straight away with Ostrup, again, that's what he did in the first, or was it the second game? I believe it was the second game, wasn't it? Yes. Because Giap got the win in Game 1 when he played Wehrmacht. ASSBAG got the against Soviets. ASSBAG got the win in Game 2 when he played Wehrmacht as Soviets. Then we just saw the first Allied win, and it was with conscript support tactics as Soviets on Arnhem, which you would argue possibly is an Allied favours map with the amount of shot blockers and heavy cover houses.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Ostrup going to prove their worth behind green cover. They have got the Pioneers to add in effect, so the conscripts are indeed going to have a very good retreat. Again, I've said this a lot of times in my casts, there is such thing as a very good retreat. It's when you don't lose model or hardly any health. The best retreat, i.e. an elite retreat, is when you soft retreat from a sticky situation without losing any models or health. Well, you can lose health in an elite retreat, but yeah, there's levels of retreat. That's a bad one. He's on a red cover road and he's dying. He's taking the cut-off though with the Ostrup, so that's really good from ASSBAG. Let's use the tap map. I will indeed be using tap map a little bit more in this game. The MG42 already on 1 kill. It's obviously been doing a little bit of work in the centre. It's now going to try and solidify his control of the cut-off. Good bit of barbed wire put there, presumably by Giap. Giap was heavy with the barbed wire in his first game, so I'm going to presume he's going to be using it heavily again this game. MG42 indeed showing that he's going to protect his cut-off here, so the conscripts are going to have to come up through this western avenue. They're going to hoorah to try and do that. So Molotovs for the first time. This from Giap. Molotov goes in there. He gets the house over the MG42. He's going to push away. So Molotov's proving their worth. Great hoorah, so a good expenditure of munitions from Giap there. He only expended 25 munitions in that entire engagement. That's 5 less than an incendiary grenade. So that's why Soviets really have a munitions advantage overall. Which, in terms of the overall map control, however, although Giap did a great bit of manoeuvring, Ostrup are putting decent fire on the still suppressed conscripts. I learnt this recently whilst I was playing. I didn't know this. If you get suppressed and there's still fire on you, it doesn't matter what it is. You will stay suppressed. I honestly didn't know that. I thought if a suppressive unit wasn't firing on you, suddenly you'll pop back up even if you're under fire. Seemingly not. We've also got Giap now going for his opponent's cut-off. Not a bad move there from him. We have got Ostrup and this MG42 trying to answer, but this... Yes, he's going to retreat. He sees that the conscripts get in. Good retreat there. Let's get some of this disgusting coffee drank. Disgusting. I made that coffee with half-boiled water so I could drink it quicker. So field infirmary for the Soviets. That's always what casters say after about 5 minutes. There we go. We've got Giap taking the field. So Giap had really good dominance in the first game, but this is the same strategy that he early GG'd to in Game 2. This is 2 MGs and Ostrup and 4 Ostrup now. So it's a lot of manpower on the field. Soft retreat behind a house, but he's between a rock and a hard place now. He's got a Pioneer, and he's got the Ostrup watching over them, so they're going to go all the way, vault over this door, try and get away from the flamethrower, and then probably hard retreat. Oh, nice wipe on that conscript there. First blood for ASSBAG. Is ASSBAG heading to the semi-finals to face Jesulin? I do say Jesulin. I've never understood why I say Jesulin, but I do. Deal with it. Bunker MG coming into play there. Obviously, the Bunker MG couldn't have seen that, but with the Pioneers, it does indeed get the shots off. And now we've got the MG42s from ASSBAG. Is he sending Giap out of the tournament? Let's have a look at the overall map control. So he's jumping in and out of cover there. He's trying to gauge whether he can push for these cut-offs or not. And Sturmtiger Giap's got 4 conscripts. He's going for... Right, he's picked his doctrine. He's going for partisan tactics. First partisan comes into foray. Tries to push away the MG42. Tries to catch it unawares. He's going to take a full retreat away from the PPSHs there. Interesting choice from Giap. Awesome stuff. So we've got partisans versus Osttroopen. The you know, the third-rate units for both kind of thematic factions in Soviets and Wehrmacht utilised here. So it's like a scrub fest, basically. Fire meets fire. Pyromaniacs meet a bit of pyro themselves, as that Molotov goes in. Engagement in the east there. MG42 again gets found unaware, so Giap is pushing hard. He's using, you would argue, superior tactical movement to get back into this. He doesn't have the... he has lost a conscript and he has been utterly swamped by Osttroopen, but he's using very good intelligent play, and he seems like, again, he's showing his tournament level, top tier kind of standard of play, it must be said. Obviously the sniper metagame will be completely negated by Osttroopen and conscripts because they're not worth much, so it takes a long time for snipers to be, you know, have their worth vanquished. Recuperated, not vanquished, what am I on about? Here comes the conscripts, going to put decent fire down on the Minesweeper Pioneers. They're going to have to retreat. And ASSBAG is now under the cosh. Could we be seeing our second Allies win of the game so far? So 2 Axis wins on Angerville and 2 Allied wins on Arnhem, perhaps. Who knows? That would help a lot of strategists with their strategies. We go to second partisans. They're going to try and take advantage of singular directional cover. Molotov in unison goes off by Giap. 1, 2. You're on fire. Run away. Conscripts getting pushed away in the centre. Redistributive resources is an option available to him for the late game, so we could be again seeing. So we could be seeing railway cannon support. I don't think we saw it in the first game, to be honest. It was too quick. It was too over, way too quickly. 10 minutes, in fact. But we've been treated some epic games so far. 2 of the 3 games so far have been absolutely awesome, and this 4th game seems to be going that way as well. Osttroopen capping. 4 of them in total against 4 conscripts, 2 partisans. Half track now coming for ASSBAG, so he's going to take advantage of the ability of Osttroopen. So he couldn't quite see. Could he see? Could he see that mine being laid? Yeah, if he was watching closely, he would have seen that Pioneer being laid. Just about had line of sight of it. So he's going to take advantage of the quick reinforce time and the low reinforce cost of Osttroopen with a mobile half-track. Very interesting to see if we get anti-tank partisans trying to get rid of the half-track later in the game. We'll have to watch out for that.
The sector is at risk.
Half-track doing its best to try and open up avenues of movement for ASSBAG. There we go. We're going to possibly see the MG reinforce whilst being on fire here. Reinforce queued. It's on fire though. It's probably going to get wiped. In fact, if he doesn't get out of there, no, he just gets an extra man just in time. Just in time. There's the extra man coming into action. So he just keeps that 1 pip of veterancy by the skin of his teeth. In the east, we've got an MG42 and a Pioneer going for the cut-off. In the centre, we've got this combat engineer nearly dying.
Fresh Panzer Grenadiers.
That's actually a really nice coffee I made under duress. I'm proud of that. Decent shot in. Well, Molotov goes to nothing, but it's going to stop him getting back into the building, isn't it? Here we go. We see the half-track now. It's really showing its worth. In fact, we've got a ZIS coming onto the field as an answer to the half-track. In the first game, we saw ASSBAG as Soviets go double mortar, and then in the third game, we saw the same. So, you know, Sturmtiger Giap could introduce some indirect fire of his own, because it is a very good counter against Osttroopen. MG42 having to face an unnatural angle is going to get focused by the combat engineers and the advancing partisans. They in turn are now going to be under a little bit of danger. And this hard track has really allowed ASSBAG to push into the centre, and he's got a large degree of victory points control in this game. Both players are still under 400, so we could be in for the real long haul in this match. Another S-mine field from ASSBAG. He's using, I don't think he's used he's just spent all of his munitions on mines, basically, seemingly. Still got a lot left in the tank as well, obviously not having to spend LMGs. Oh, this opens up on the half track. Does he have line of sight?
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Oh, the game doesn't want to show me no fog of war, never mind. Decent shots going in on the Pioneers. They do have the cut-off. There is an S-mine. Doesn't quite cover this tip of the capture circle.
Establish our supply line.
In the west, we've got Ostrooper now pushing to try and reclaim those territory sectors. We have got a conscript with a built sandbag waiting for them. God, TAC map takes me to 2 FPS, so I'm not going to keep using that. My computer is trying to process this in real time and upload it to the internet, so we'll stay away from TAC map. For some reason, Relic have coded it so it gives you 10 FPS. So we got the Vet 2. Again, a combat engineer with a flamethrower, really proving quite powerful in this game. In the previous game on him, here we go, the half-track moonwalking into view there. Ostrooper and Pine green cover trying to push away the conscripts that Ura to their green cover, so they're going to have to wait for the... Just using a bit of fuel denial there. Zis opens up with his light artillery barrage. All shots missing. Just a nice bit of pyrotechnics for us there. Ostrooper bum rushing the conscripts who are suppressed, so they are allowed to do that. Partisans, there are in fact 3 partisan squads on the field. These guys haven't been... No, my mistake, there's still 2. This one could be down, so it could be 1 very shortly, especially if they run into the arc of fire of the MG42. No, they don't, but they still get the kill. Was that with the MP40s of the crew members, or is the line of arc, the arc ranging circle fire thing, is it lying to us? Well, I can't even remember its name, so maybe it's allowed to lie to us. Panzer Grenadiers under a large degree of danger there. You don't want to lose those things because they cost so damn much. Bloody hell, 240 munitions for ASSBAG now. He's really going to have to start thinking of ways to spend that. In fact, the Panzer Grenadiers could be an example of what he's going to spend it on. When he sees the first tank, he could be taking away 2 STGs and replacing them with Panzerschrecks. All the while, this green cover sandbag walls allowed Giap to keep the fuel away from ASSBAG.
A fresh mortar crew has arrived.
Right then, so ASSBAG's now bringing a mortar onto the field, so he was very fond of mortars in that first game. Zis at max range taking a shot off on the half track there. All the while in the west, we've now got the partisans trying to venture a little bit further south than their previously captured territory to link them up perhaps. Well, they've got a triple cap on, so they're going to have to take a victory point at some time. Tallet in progress have been laid from ASSBAG there, so he's now spending his munitions on Talers. Not a bad idea. The first tank is coming onto the field for the Soviets. It is indeed a very late T-70, 15 minutes into the game. That's roughly half the... Oh, sorry, double the time of when you'd usually expect it. Vet 3 combat engineers now putting some flames down there. Possibly seen the S-mine field, perhaps. Very tacky skin from Giap with the blood on the front. It looked even worse on the Schwer, the trucks rather, the OKW trucks in the previous game. Excellent repositioning from ASSBAG there of his MG42, preventing the flank, and he's just got a kessel of units here. Shame for Giap that he has no artillery. Really, I'd love to see artillery. It's the only thing we've been missing in these games. That and super heavy tanks, it must be said. It's been such a fluid and dynamic matchup. It's been such a... They've taken us for a massive ride. Losing Soldaten, something just bit the dust. T-70 really trying to be a little bit more adventurous. It's only against Panzerfaust. There is no AT on the field. ASSBAG has gambled on Sturm Tiger Giap, seemingly. Panzer Grenadiers died! I'm so sorry I missed that. Dear God, that must be what died. Sorry about that. With a, you know, a Titanic contest, sorry, such as this one, where there's so much going on, you will miss things occasionally. The only way you can hope to keep track is if you keep looking at the unit icons in the top left and top right and trying to keep stock of what's happened. In the west, we've got another sandbag wall coming up. These guys are under heavy duress whilst building. They're going to have to just retreat. That was a reflex retreat from Giap. T-70 already on 4 kills. They are taking advantage of the single directional cover there. Unfortunately, it's hitting this tractor. In the east, Ostrupen pushing hard. Still, the S-mine field still up. It just got a few kills on the conscripts on retreat, it seems.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Nice mines. So we got some excellent mines there. So we got Soviet mine there in the centre. We'll have to keep a real watch out for them. I wonder what ASSBAG's going to go in terms of fuel. He has got 155 saved. He only has tier 2. So we'll have to tech significantly. There we go. He's got a pack 40 coming onto the field. He's going to need that. Look at this pocket of force here. He's got the half tracks really proving its worth. T-70 under significant fire from the MG42. All the while in the centre, we've got the mortar lining up shots on ASSBAG's Kessel of units there. And we've got an awesome flank here. No, they're going to think better of it. Nope. .jpeg. Oh my God, the T-70 eats a shot and then internally combusts under fire from the Pack 40s. The Pack 40 straight away shows its mettle against the T-70. And this could be seen ASSBAG in the ascendancy. He's nearly wipes the Vet 3 combat engineers. That would have been a big loss for Giap. Flammenwerfer updated. There you go. Good expenditure of munitions there. He's still got loads left. So he's got as much reinforcements as he wants. He's now got the Flammenwerfer. Conscripts trying to put a little bit of fire on the capping units there. Also, it must be said for ASSBAG, he's, 284 victory points to 412, so he has got a significant advantage, but it's not massive. AT grenades tech for the Soviet player, so he's got a full cabal of T1 or T0 rather upgrades. Partisans screaming because they're on fire. It's not very nice. The 251 half track is redirecting. It's going to put some decent fire on these now, but they do have to be careful of the Zis gun, but that's not quite in range at the moment. Mine goes off on the Ostrupen, leaving one man in the squad there. ASSBAG is showing a little tiny bit of unawareness there, letting him go on 20 meters before retreating. And now we've got Giap capping the east, using again a sandbag wall, but to his credit, ASSBAG is capping the centre and the west at the same time, so he's going to be a 2 versus 1 victory point situation, keeping the clamp down locked in tight. Mechanised armour Compania. Interesting to see what we're going to see from that. Could be seeing a Katusha. That'd be very interesting. You would, of course, need some form of AT other than just a Zis gun and anti-tank grenades. But a Katusha would be an excellent option against such a, a thick contingent of units. Another mine there. He's been dicing with danger being so close to that mine for such long. Here we go. The Flammenwerfer's coming in against the conscripts. They are going to retreat around this shot and sight blocker. So they're probably going to get away with it, but you never know. The Ostrupen, no, they won't get the DPS out. Vet 3 MG42 for ASSBAG. That thing's been an utter, really well microed unit in this game. He's really shown his pedigree himself in repositioning his MG42 really well. Flammenwerfer only got 3 kills. It's more of been a bully on the battlefield, pushing units away. And Giap's just been pushed away. He's got... It depends what he builds from tier 4. We'll give him a chance. Anti-tank grenade goes in. Anti-tank grenade does indeed go in. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't get the kill. It's a shame he hasn't got any partisan anti-tank hunters. Come on! No, he hasn't quite. Has he done it? No, he should have done partisan anti-tank hunters in my opinion. Oh, nice shot in from the mortar. Shame he didn't get any squad kills. Maybe this shot? Ooh, if he hadn't retreated, definitely. Elsewhere, we've got an engagement in the east for this. He's now going to use his own sandbag wall against him. And ASSBAG seems like he's going to take this series 3-1 at this point. It must be said, unless Giap can really build something from this tier 4 building that gets him back into the game. You know, one Katusha barrage could bring him back into this if he's got the element of surprise. You never know, anything can happen in Gun of Your Heroes due to its large degree of RNG element. That's what makes it so exciting to watch. Molotov goes in, misses. Elsewhere we've got a pitched engagement. That's what I wanted to say earlier, pitched engagement, that's it. And mortars have been so heavily used. If this was Gun of Your Heroes 1, you barely ever saw mortars, to be honest, except on specific maps. Now, we've also got a demo from Giap, so he's got a demo built on this victory point. He's still got 205 victory points overall remaining. However, this Austrian is taking his cut off. Where's the Zis? Is the Zis lining up? Yes, it gets the kill against the Flammenwerfer. There you go, my fanboy coming out there because I do want to see this go to an ace game, if at all possible. Pack 40 repositioning against an invisible threat. However, there is a T-34. What's that going to do? Why is he building a T-34? And also, you've got the Panzer IV rocking onto the battlefield, so this T-34 is a real strange decision from Giap. I don't want to call it a poor decision because he's a lot better player than I am, so strategical knowledge, you know, you can't really doubt it. 400, well, just gone down to 390 munitions now. You've got a Zis and a T-34 versus Panzer IV tank. Why have we got a T-34-76? They're really not very powerful, it must be said. That mine did go off in the end. Looks like it killed something or other. Pintle mount, obviously, because he's got so many munitions spent. Giap's still got 100 fuel, so he could still be seeing something other than... Demo so close to the flame of Pyre there. We'll have to keep an eye on that. S-mine on the central victory point. In the west, we've got an engagement where the conscripts had to retreat because look at what ASSBAG's got. He's got such a large contingent of army there. Panzer IV repositioning. Where's the Zis? Is the Zis in backup? It is indeed facing the wrong way currently. Just get a nice shot off. What a skill shot that was. Right on the... Decent shot in on the Vet 3 MG. Have we seen the demo? The demo did indeed go off, but it seems like it didn't do anything at all. Both MGs up to Vet 3. T-34's not doing bad.